Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie related show on the planet Earth, the John Campea Show, coming from right here on my YouTube channel, brought to you in part by our friends at Mint Mobile. My name is John Campea, and it is an awesome honor and privilege, as it is every day, to have you, our international friends, gather around as we talk about our favorite things in the world, movies, movie news, TV, and streaming on this, the final regular John Campea Show of 2022, as we head into, we are celebrating today, Christmas Eve. We are so glad you guys are joining us today. Joining us, of course, sitting over here, getting in the Christmas spirit with his Batmobile.
Wow.
Is Robert Meyer Burnett.
I feel like a child on Christmas morning, John.
You look like it when I walked in here this morning.
It was precious.
Sitting right beside him, dressed like a child on Christmas morning, is Chris Carr.
Christmas
Chris, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm very happy you finally acknowledged them, because I was like, I must dress like an idiot every day because no one's talking about my pajamas.
They're great.
I'm so cozy right now.
Wow.
Oh,
Sitting over there, also getting into, look at that sweater, the Christmas spirit, Ray Aura, with his, does that thing light up too?
As long as they're Manscaped.
well, you got to do it in the Cartman voice.
Please! Somebody!
Sitting beside him.
For once in my life.
Ray, this is the last show 2022, not the last show ever.
We're off the rails and we're not even 2 minutes in.
I'm unloading baggage before the end of the
Apparently.
Right beside him,
Well, you'd certainly
having to
like
deal
that.
with that baggage, running the show, producer Jonathan Boyko. Jonathan,
Rum helps with that.
a little bit to
10:30
run.
in the morning.
And right beside him, also in the Christmas spirit there, we got Taylor. And guys,
Straight guy over there, not saying anything.
I'm very quiet today.
and seriously, it is the final show of the year. It's the last one of 2022. It's been a very eventful year for us here on the show. I mean, when we started this year, we were still doing the show from my garage.
We were.
We were still doing the show from my garage at the beginning of this year. And now here we are. And we're glad you're joining us here today. And here's how today's show is going to go. We're going to break it down into two parts. The first half of the show, we'll call that the sober part. We're going to talk about some predetermined topics. Then we'll get into the second half of the show. And I make no promises about Robert Meyer Burnett's state by the time we get there. We're going to take your live comments and questions.
Just only Rob.
So you guys can feel free to jump on down and throw those in the comment section below. Also, want to remind you guys, over the Christmas break, if you need some stuff to listen to, good news, we got podcasts. We got the John Campea Show podcast. Just go on your favorite podcasting app of choice, search for it, and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it. By the way, we also have an after show podcast, which, by the way, there is a new episode of 1923 on Christmas.
Tonight. Oh, Christmas Day.
It's
No,
not
I guess
Friday.
it was be
Yeah, I
Sunday.
think it's Sunday. This will do it. So there will be a new episode of the 1923
We have
after
to
show.
record a show, though.
Yeah, we'll probably do that Monday or something
Yeah,
like that.
I'm down.
We'll do it remotely.
Yeah.
And make sure you guys check that out. We got other podcasts that do, including one for the Weekly Hero, which, by the way, they're going to record one today. But we're going to air a new episode of the Weekly Hero, I think on Monday is we're going to air that.
Yes,
So make sure you
yes,
guys check
we
that
will.
out. So even though the regular John Campea Show is not going to be going, we've got our special Best Films of 2022 stream coming next week. We got our Worst Films of 2022. We have our Most Anticipated Films of 2023. We've got a Weekly Hero, and we have one or two other streams that I'll be doing as well. So still lots of content, but this is the last regular one for the year, and we're glad that you're here to get through it with us. All right. That down, guys. Let's get into some off the tops here. And again, ho, 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 I bringeth gifts. I bringeth gifts. And if you're Chris Carr, it's the most unexpected gift of all. You know, the Super Bowl is coming up, one of the greatest days of the year.
Are you buying us tickets?
Oh, hell no.
Chris is going.
I am. I'm deeply involved.
In the sports ball. So that's coming in. Of course, one of the main reasons that a lot of people get excited about Super Bowl is trailers. It's the best trailer day of the year, is a Super Bowl normally. But you know who doesn't? You know who's the Grinch of Super Bowl trailers?
Who?
Warner Brothers. They haven't done a Super Bowl trailer since 2006. Not
Really?
since V for Vendetta, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
But not this year, as Santa Claus is coming to town and he's going to bring us, according to reports, a Flash trailer will be airing and dropping.
According to
Wow.
Believe it or not.
I don't think Chris believes it.
I'm on the knot.
Yep. So Christmas Scrooge Chris does not believe in the spirit of Flash Christmas or Flash Super Bowl trailers. But no, apparently, according to the reports, Warner Brothers is going to be doing a big push for Flash and dropping a trailer for it at the Super Bowl. Now, of
believe
course,
this?
Warner Brothers hasn't confirmed this yet, but this is coming from a couple of the trades. Warner Brothers hasn't confirmed this yet, but all signs point to it. And I'll tell you the main reason why even though the studio itself hasn't confirmed it yet, I totally believe it. In this new Warner Brothers era, Warner Brothers made it very clear they really believe in this film. Now, with all the nonsense that has gone with it, from problems in the production to several release date changes to even earlier than that, they went through several sets of writers, several sets of directors, and then of course all the coal in your stocking that Ezra Miller has dropped, all year long. So making life miserable for everybody at Warner Brothers. Through all that, they have maintained that Andy Muschietti has made a great film. And they love this film. And, there's a shot that we saw at CinemaCon when we got to see Michael Keaton.
How can you not love that? You know what that says to me, John? Batman Beyond.
It says Batman Flashpoint.
That says Batman Flashpoint to me is what it says. But so I think this is really interesting. We're going to get our first really true taste of this. I mean, they showed little bits of footage here and there. They've dropped some images and whatnot. But we're going to get our first real kind of look at this. Rob, does this make sense to you for them to drop this at Super Bowl? A traditionally not necessarily a comic book movie audience is going to put it in front of a lot of new eyeballs. What do you think?
Well, here's the thing. We've talked about the Ezra Miller situation. We've talked about this movie. Some people on this panel don't even believe this is real.
Nope.
But I do think that if this movie's great, a lot of people worked on it. Andy Muschietti is a director to It films that Warner Brothers made a lot of money from. Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, which is monumental. John, I want this movie to be great. And I think from everything that we've heard, this movie is great. And for all the people that worked on it, for Michael Keaton to come back, for Muschietti to, how much of his life did he pour into this? The fact that they're putting out a Super Bowl trailer with everything that's happened means this movie has got to be effing great.
It has to be great.
And I am
with or without a reboot of the DCU coming,
dude,
this movie's got to be great.
I'm stoked. However, until James Gunn has a tweet about it, I'm just not going to believe that there is a trailer. I'm not going to believe there's a movie. I need James Gunn to tell me, James, please tweet and tell us. Tell us if this trailer is going to be there on Super Bowl Sunday. Because I want to see it.
Chris, is the person in the room who on a government census will first put that you believe in Santa Claus before saying you believe in this Flash movie.
I'm on the not E list.
What do you think about this report?
I would love for this movie to come out as Batman Flashpoint. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff in here. I'm really excited about Keaton getting back in the cowl. But there has been so many problems with this film, and I know tons of people worked on it, and I'm not trying to diminish all the hard work that people have done. And I usually do mostly say this in jest of okay, that movie is not real. But truly, it just seems odd for this to be the thing you come back to the Super Bowl with. We know that we're getting a clean slate, and even if we were going to exist with this kind of Flash story, it ain't going to be with Ezra Miller. So I'm a little confused why we would put so many eggs in this basket. I know we've got inside sources saying it's a great film, but I don't know if I believe it. This
Everybody
seems like
loves a comeback story.
Well,
Parks and Rec.
Once you've paid your penance, yeah.
but here's the thing that I try to remind people of is that this is not Ezra Miller's movie.
Right.
This is Andy Muschietti's movie.
Yeah.
And this isn't like they went out and put Ezra Miller in this movie despite all the nonsense. Ezra Miller was in this movie before all the nonsense.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure if they could have gone back in time and recast Ezra Miller, they would have recast their role quickly, easily, and happily. But they got dealt the hand they got dealt. So it is that. But it's the same thing. Even if this universe is being rebooted, which we think is what's going to happen, but we don't know for sure. Even if DC is being rebooted, you still have to treat this movie as any other movie. It is a movie that represents years of investment, hundreds of millions of dollars of investment, and you need to market it in such a way to try to maximize your return on that investment. And historically speaking, Super Bowl has been the place to do it.
Well, and I'm sure it is a way to get on top of all of the bad press too, because
Yeah.
your common moviegoer might not know all about the trash stories that are coming out about Ezra Miller, right? So this might be a great way to kind of just get over that lump.
Now, the feature they showed us, because they showed us a little chunk of the film back at CinemaCon last year. Just by watching that footage that they showed us last year at CinemaCon, whose movie would you say this is? Michael Keaton's
Michael
movie.
Keaton's.
At least that's according to the footage they showed us. I have a feeling that this trailer, if it's real, Chris,
Thank
if
you.
this trailer actually comes out in Super Bowl, I have a feeling if we get stopwatches and time it, we're going to see more screen time for Michael Keaton than we will for Ezra Miller. I think they're going to lean more in the marketing part. I think they're going to lean more towards the Michael Keaton. I'm not saying they're going to hide Ezra Miller. The movie's called Flash. At least for now it is. They're not going to hide Ezra Miller, but I bet you there will be more screen time of Michael Keaton than Ezra Miller. What do you think?
John, you always say that winning cures everything. If this film is terrific, and by all accounts it is, all of his past
No, they
transgressions.
will not. No, they will not.
I'm just going to say, but the movie-going audience is not going to pay attention to that.
I don't know that I agree with that.
I mean-
don't, because this wasn't one incident with Ezra, right?
I know,
this
but-
was incident compounded on incident, especially when they got to the grooming
if
of an underage girl thing. That's not stuff people forget.
But if the movie's great, they're going to see the Flash.
They will probably still see. Look, this is where I'm at as a fan, and you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to feel the same way. This is where I'm at as a fan. I know this is not Ezra Miller's movie. This is Andy Muschietti's movie.
Yes.
They wrote this movie, conceived this movie, all that kind of stuff before they knew they had any problem with Ezra Miller, all that kind of stuff. So I am enthusiastically going to be going to see this movie. That said, if Warner Brothers were stupid enough to try to then do another one with Ezra Miller, I won't be seeing that. Like I don't hold what's going on with Ezra and all that. I don't hold that against Warner Brothers for that. That's the hand they were dealt.
Sure.
I don't blame them for that. Whatever. That's fine. If Andy Muschietti made a great movie, fantastic, blah, blah, deal with the Ezra Miller stuff later. I mean, the old Warner Brothers regime should have dealt with it 2 years ago.
Yep.
But they didn't. So here we're at this point now where it is what it is. But I mean, so I'm of the point, and again, I'm not trying to say this is how anybody else should feel. I'm just telling you this is the way my head is working right now. I will happily go to see this movie. I'm excited about seeing this movie and seeing what Andy Muschietti does. But I'm also completely of 100% belief that you will never see Ezra Miller play Flash again. No matter what.
I agree with
This movie could make, I'll go so far as to say this movie could make Avatar level money. And of course it won't. But even if it did, I don't think you're ever going to see Ezra Miller play this role
you.
again.
Agreed.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Are you hopeful with the Christmas spirit that we're about to get a Flash trailer at the Super Bowl? Or are you Scroogey and Grinchy?
Like me.
Like Chris Carr. And not
the
even believing this
scroogiest, grinchiest among us all.
You are not that.
I know I'm not. That's why I think it's so funny that I'm
You're
on this
supposed
end
to
of
be
this.
Mary Lou. Except
know.
for when it comes to this.
Prom
Whatever
night
you
too.
guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's get into another off the top here, shall we? And that one is this. You know, as we approach the end of the year, it is, of course, time in the movie community and stuff like that. All eyes are on awards season. And we are getting now close to when the actual Academy Award nominations will be made. They're not too far away now at this point. All everybody's doing their top 10 of the year list, and we will do ours next week as well. All that kind of stuff. But the Hollywood Reporter has put out their forecast for what they are projecting are going to be the big nominees this year. And in particular of interest is the 10 films that the Hollywood Reporter is forecasting will end up being the 10 nominees for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. And those 10 films that the Hollywood Reporter is saying are going to get the nominees are thus: All Quiet on the Western Front, Babylon, which I've not seen yet, Tar with Cate Blanchett, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, which this would make it 2 for 2 if it does get for Best Picture nominations, right? Elvis, The Banshees of Inisherin, Top Gun Maverick, the Hollywood Reporter is projecting will get one of those 10 Best Picture spots, Avatar, The Way of Water, The Fabelmans, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Those are the 10. Scroll, just go up a bit on that page, just to up a little bit further, right there. Okay. So again, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Avatar, The Way of Water, Top Gun Maverick, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Glass Onion, Tar, Babylon, and All Quiet on the Western Front. Rob, you hear the Hollywood Reporter's projections for the Best Picture nominees. Anything glaring to you that you think doesn't belong on this list, or anything glaring that you think is missing?
No, I think this is probably the best, most honest, most balanced look at Best Picture, I have no complaints. What I am happy to see, John, is that All Quiet on the Western Front, which is the German entry to the Academy Awards this year, is also topping the Best Picture nominees. The film's incredible. I mean, it really is. If you watch that movie, you will be forever changed. It really is.
Which takes away any drama about what's going to win Best Foreign Film this year. If only one of those is actually nominated for Best Picture overall.
That's true.
Takes away any of that drama.
But you know what? I also think that this speaks to just how diverse the storytelling we got this year was. That's a great list of films. Every one of them's different. Every one of them represents true craftsmanship, and what a list. What a list of movies we got this year.
Chris, any of the films on here that you think absolutely don't belong, or any that absolutely do that you would replace it with?
No, this makes sense to me. I think it's odd that The Woman King isn't on this list. That being said, though, I think everything else on here does make sense to be on the short list. A couple of these, too, I still haven't gotten to see. I've been waiting for my screeners. I'm a lazy SAG actor like that, where I know they'll get it to me for free. So I'm looking forward to watching a lot of these.
I think Woman King not being on the list is interesting. Here's the thing. I'm not sure what I would, again, I haven't seen Babylon.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd take away.
It's hard for me to say anything about that. But so that being said, let's say of the remaining 9, I don't know what I would bump out for The Woman King. The one big thing to me, and maybe this is because I like this film a little more than some others, I would take out Elvis. Don't get me wrong. I think Elvis is great. I think it's great.
No, but I can understand that.
But I would take it out for the Batman. I mean, I really feel and I don't know if it was just came out too long ago that everybody's forgot. That is a great movie. Forget that it's a comic book movie. It is a great movie, and I would have liked to have seen it get a little bit more of a heavier stint on there. So, yeah, I don't know. Any of you guys find anything that's on there you would think, no, this absolutely doesn't belong on the list, or any film that is absolutely missing?
Babylon's just a little odd to me because it barely came out, and I don't think it's been receiving great reviews. That's the only thing I'm a little confused about.
I've heard very mixed things about it.
I would take Babylon off that list.
Yeah, Taylor went and saw it.
Yeah, I saw it last night. It's 3 hours and 9 minutes, and you can feel 3 hours and 9 minutes. It's funny because Avatar just came out last week. And to me, Avatar flew by, even on the second watch. The second watch went by faster. But last night with Babylon, I checked my phone so many times. It's like, are we done? Are we done? Are we done? It wasn't bad. It's just, it started to drag in that second half.
Now, of course, Ray thinks there should be a 105-minute limit to any film that had for awards.
A lot of them in 105 screenings.
Consideration. So I don't know.
Not even a picture anymore.
Question is for you guys. What do you think about the forecasted list that the Hollywood Reporter has? I mean, these are all some terrific films, and I agree with almost all of them. How do you guys feel about it? Whatever your thoughts on it are, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move into our final Mint Mobile Hotline question of the year. Shall we? If you guys have a question for 2023, of course, that you guys would like us to address on an upcoming show, you can call our hotline anytime, 24/7. Leave a message at 951-268-4259. So, Jonathan, what is our final hotline question this year?
Hey guys, I'm Owen White. I wanted to ask you what you think the chances are that Leonardo DiCaprio could be in Avatar 4 or 5. James Cameron was asked this the other day, and he seemed pretty open to the idea, and it's pretty much up to Leo. While Leo isn't a franchise guy, I feel like this could be the one franchise he'd be open to joining. What do you guys think? Happy holidays to you guys.
Thank you, Owen, and somebody get that man a cup of coffee. So, yes, and it's a great question. It's a great question because, with Avatar, now, by the way, it's already crossed the $600 million mark. It crossed the $600 million mark in less than a week.
Yep.
Crazy.
So there we go. And it shows no signs of slowing down. Of course, this is a huge franchise. And we were talking the other day about, Matt Damon was the originally supposed to be Jake in the movie. And, James Cameron saying that we got to bring Matt in to balance the universe out again and put him in Avatar 4 or 5 or something like that. Well, he did bring in Kate Winslet, who, of course, became a global name in James Cameron's Titanic. And she did terrific in this movie. So with Matt Damon, Kate Winslet, and now we know Avatars 4 and 5 and whatever are coming as well. Some rumors and rumblings have been going around that Leonardo DiCaprio, who was already big, I mean, he was already on all the girls. This is a history lesson. There used to be these things called teen mags, all right? A little bit of ancient history lesson. Tiger Beat and the like. There were a bunch of them. And already before Titanic, Leo DiCaprio, his face was on the cover of all these magazines. But he actually became a true global star with Titanic. Titanic is the one that put him on the map. I mean, I think he already had an Academy Award nomination under his belt for What's Eating Gilbert Grape at that point. But Titanic is what made him the star that he is today. And then, of course, he's earned that reputation over his career. He's one of the best in the business. But going back and work with James Cameron again, getting back in Avatar, a lot of whispers going around that this is one he would do. And so Owen asked the question. Well, if you were to ask Leonardo DiCaprio's friend and co-star of Titanic, does she believe he'll come back? Well, this is what she said. The door is open to join the franchise, but Kate Winslet does not think that her friend and former co-star would be interested. Winslet said the following about whether or not Leo DiCaprio would come in to play an Avatar. No, it's definitely not Leo's bag at all. No, he is more of a dry land kind of guy.
Wow.
So apparently, according to Kate Winslet, don't count on it. And because, listen, without Kate Winslet's words here, I would go, you know what? You're right. He's not a franchise guy. He doesn't do these big, but to go back and work with James Cameron again, maybe to work with Kate Winslet again, that could be something really appealing to somebody like Leo DiCaprio. But I think anybody knows him as well as Kate Winslet. If she comes out and says, nope, he would not do this. This is it. I think we can probably put that one to rest. Anyway, Chris, you hear the question. You heard what Kate Winslet said, but money can change things. Do you think we could ever see Leo DiCaprio in the Avatar film?
For sure. I could maybe see him doing some kind of very small role that he could kind of pop on and work a day on, honestly, for this kind of thing.
Can you work a day on a movie like this?
If he does some kind of he pops in and he's just like a Giovanni Ribisi kind of role in this. Something like that I could see him doing.
Yep,
I think before her statement, I would have given this a lot more weight, but they're such close friends. They hang out with their kids and their families together on the reg. And if she's saying that, she's got some pretty good insight into what Leo does and does not want to do.
Which brings up the question, Rob, if James Cameron did ever manage somehow to get Leonardo DiCaprio to appear in this, would you see Leonardo DiCaprio? Would he be a Navi? I don't know. How would you use him if you were advising James Cameron?
I think that I've never met Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know him, but I've been to his office, and he has an incredible collection of movie posters. One of the best I've ever seen. He loves film.
Yes, he does.
And I think that you wouldn't have to twist his arm if Cameron said, look, Leo, I need you for a week, just for fun. Come down, be a Navi, do some underwater motion capture. I think he's the kind of guy that would do it. I bet, not speaking for his people or him, I bet he might even do it without pay, just to do it. Because he's interested in, the way James Cameron pushes film technology forward. Leonardo DiCaprio is a man who's looking to save, environmental concerns are one of his big topics. And if
that's
the best argument for him doing it, maybe.
Yeah,
that's actually a really good argument.
And I think that, as I've said, I believe that James Cameron, rather than go into politics, the Avatar films that might be his legacy is him trying to tell all of humanity, let's be better custodians of the world we live in. And here's it, rather than me going in front of Congress where my voice would be turned into a partisan thing, I'm making wildly entertaining movies, and hopefully you'll glean something from it. And what better ally than Leonardo DiCaprio?
If it wasn't for Kate Winslet saying what she said, you would have just convinced me. That's a really good argument. But Kate Winslet is saying he'll never do it. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think James Cameron could maybe talk Leonardo DiCaprio to popping up in an Avatar movie at some point? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave us your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, we're going to now move into our main topics here today. And how do we select our main topics on the John Campea Show? Well, that's simple. You guys come up with our main topics. See, whenever you come across a big topic, issue, or story that you guys feel we should absolutely cover as a main topic here on the show, just go anytime 24/7 over to www.thejohncampeashow.com/contact. Once you guys get there, you're going to see a form. Fill it out with your topic or question. It's absolutely free. Hit submit, and then maybe, just maybe, you might see your submission featured as a main topic here on the John Campea Show. With that down, Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic is going to come from David Ackman. Did you guys see the trailer for the 90s show that dropped the other day? I obsessively watched that 70s show, and it's probably in my top 10 shows of all time list. And I thought the trailer was really cute and gave me vibes of the original. It was also really great to see so much of the original cast back, too. Did you guys see it, and what did you think about it? Thanks.
All right, David, thanks a lot for writing that in. Okay, so you got to understand, I didn't really watch that 70s show. I think probably in total I've watched 10, 11, or 12 episodes. So I've seen a number of the episodes. Not like I never watched it, but I was not like a regular. It wasn't really for me, but it was charming. I remember I had some laughs, and I didn't think it was a bad show by any stretch of the imagination. Again, just wasn't really for me, but that's okay. Now, the relaunching of old franchises with the new generation is not brand new. I mean, Degrassi did it.
Yes.
What's the Bayside High?
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell did it.
Did you have a Screech poster on your wall?
No. I was a literal child when that show was on.
So, I mean, it's not like it's a new thing, right? It's kind of the trend. So they tried that 80s show, which that disappeared like a fart in the wind.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that one ever even debuted, but whatever. So they're doing this 90s show. So I heard Taylor and some other people in the office talking about it yesterday. So I decided, all right, I'll watch it. That trailer is the shittiest trailer I think I have seen in all year. I would watch the Gotham Knights trailer again before I would watch the trailer to this piece of trash. This was awful. This was terrible. And then I'm not making a comment about that 70s show. I'm not touching that 70s show. Like, I'm sure it was great to see Red and his wife back and all that kind of stuff. And it's really neat to see the original cast back there too. That's neat to see. Clearly the show is not going to be about them though. But everything about these new kids, I was like, I wonder if this can turn into a monster movie and they can be horribly murdered right now. Because I would be fine with that. Nothing in that trailer so much as made me grin. Forget chuckle, forget laugh. Nothing remotely made me grin. And all I could think about was, I want to see the older high schoolers come and beat them up and bully them. That's how much I dislike these kids. By the way, never bully anybody, people. But I'm just saying, it was... it was almost like a YouTube spoof video about, can you imagine how bad that 70s sequel show could be? Let's make a funny video. That's what it felt like.
Who wore that in the 90s? I don't know.
Well, he did. Apparently.
It came from the 80s. It's like 89, so he just kept wearing it.
Yeah, there you go. It worked. But I can't imagine. It's one of those things. Look, it's all subjective. I'm sure there's people out there who watched this trailer and thought it was the greatest thing. And if that's cool, awesome. I'm not going to try to talk you out of that. That's great. If you liked it, I'm happy about that. I'm honestly happy. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but I'm happy for you. I don't know, Chris, did you ever watch that 70s show?
I did watch that 70s show.
Well, you saw the trailer for that 90s show. Mm-hmm. What did you think about the trailer?
I thought it was very in line with that 70s show. I thought it was the same kind of tone and sense of humor. Now, that being said, does that kind of style of show still work? I don't know. I really don't know if it does, because we switched to, more found footage comedies and things that feel a little bit more lived in. And when things get wacky, that's kind of the other thing that happens, right? They're usually relatable, wonderful comedies like that, where this is very, very, multicam sitcom-y stuff. But I feel like this is exactly the tone of the original show. So if you liked the original, why not give this a go? And seeing the original cast come back and everything too, it's lovely. I'm really glad this is our Festivus episode where you're just airing grievances, though. I love
time
this.
For everything. We follow this up after the break with Feats of Strength.
Yes.
Rob, you saw the trailer for that night. I don't know. What did you think about the break the tie here?
Well, sorry, Chris.
It's okay. I still love you.
We have issues. I'm with you, John. Not a great trailer. And not only that, maybe it's because I really don't like anyone born in the 90s. I mean,
oh, no.
Your Star Wars movie was The Phantom Menace. I mean, let's face it.
They
Everyone
couldn't
thinks
help that.
there wasn't even good grunge in the 90s.
Well, these
grunge
kids
really
were technically
began
born in the 80s, so
no, but I kid. I have
That's the
lots.
next Robert My Burnett T-shirt.
I have lots of friends that were born in the 90s, and I love them all. I truly do. It's not our fault that The Phantom Menace was their Star Wars
come
film,
on,
but I
he's
feel
back at it again here.
It defined a generation. Oh, there you go. That okay.
We got Chong back at it.
I mean, look, here's the thing, John. Why does everything have to be rebooted? Everything, like you pointed out, Saved by the Bell, that 90s show. Doesn't your 30-year-old want to see something new?
Well, okay. In its defense, I will say two things. Number one, you say, why does everything have to be rebooted? Number one, because there is a greater demand for more and more content these days than ever before. I would also argue the same thing that I do about movies when people say, why does everything have to be remade? I'll say, well, if you actually sit down, this is not subjective, this is objective, statistical proof. There is more original film being made today than any other time in history. There's more original television being made today than any other time in history.
That is absolutely true. You're right. But I just think that that the generation that was born in the 90s, I kid about you guys, I love you, but I think they want to see. I mean, the problem is when you're looking back, you never quite get it right. It's a facsimile of what the 90s was. It's not really the 90s.
That's what the 70s show is, and that was a facsimile on purpose anyway.
I know.
That was the point.
What are you defending it? It's fine.
No, I'm just saying as far as
Listen,
the
this
world.
guy, Matt Reeves over here.
He was probably born in the 90s.
Did you direct the pilot and not tell us?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
and
So you're an
it's
executive
all
producer
part
on the whole
of parody anyway. It parodied the 70s anyway. It wasn't an accurate look at the 70s. Come on.
But here's the other thing too. Like I get the nostalgia. I saw some in the live chat say it's a nostalgia play. That's fine.
No, it is.
But if you're doing the nostalgia play, aren't you just going to piss off everybody that the original cast is actually probably going to be in it for like 3 minutes and it's all really going to be about this entire, like, isn't it a little bit kind of like, I mean, I love The Force Awakens, but some people felt like that was a little bait and switch. Promise them Han Solo, give them, Poe. I mean, I don't know. So,
I mean, we weren't mad about Poe.
but we were not
We
mad.
should
I love The Force
sue
Awakens.
them for giving us trailers that misled us.
Well, if they're in the show, it's not misleading.
That's
But
true.
I'm saying it's, I don't know. Guys, question is for you. I put the Gotham Knights trailer ahead of this thing. Chris got really charmed by it. Rob didn't like it, maybe not as harshly as I didn't like it, but maybe you did. Whatever you guys thought about this new trailer, are you looking forward to this show? Were you a fan of that 70s show? Whatever you guys feel, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Another big problem, though, with the 70s and 90s is thick, itchy bush, and you don't want that. No, sir. And today, with the modern glories of technology, we have our sponsor today, Manscaped, and then to keep it nice and cozy when it's shorn beautifully, also our friends at MeUndies.
What?
Yeah, the 90s.
The holidays are officially upon us, and it's time to start celebrating. Do your thing and holiday your way with MeUndies. Because it's the most wonderful time of the year to try MeUndies, because they're currently offering a very merry deal. Get 20% off your first purchase with free standard shipping and free returns when you go to MeUndies.com/Campea. Guys, I've been wearing MeUndies for a while now because I used to be like everybody else. I would go to the big store, buy the biggest box of the most generic underwear, and I thought that was good enough. But ever since I started MeUndies and started wearing the most comfortable underwear I have ever worn in my life, I swear on this Christmas season, I will never go back. So get your holiday shopping finished early and start making time for yourself with the new MeUndies holiday collection. Their undies, long underwear, and sleepwear are made out of the softest, most supple fabric you've ever felt and are guaranteed to bring you comfort and joy to all of your loved ones. Shop their classic plaid prints for a traditional, picture-perfect style, or get festive with their adventurous limited edition sweater prints. Available in sizes extra small all the way through 4XL, MeUndies has what you need to make all of your favorite people smile this holiday season, all in one convenient place. So to get 20% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Campea. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Manscaped. This holiday season, I'll be giving thanks to our friends over at Manscaped. Everyone loves turkey and stuffing, but you'll be looking like dessert with the help of Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have blessed you with the ultimate Thanksgiving dinner topic. Tell your in-laws about your new cutting-edge ball trimmer and gift yourself or the man in your life the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Trim up your pumpkins by going to manscaped.com and use the code Campea for free shipping and 20% off. And this year I am so thankful for Manscaped because like most of you guys, I used to use Neanderthalic Dark Age methods to trim my balls. Not anymore, thanks to Manscaped. It's time for all of us to give thanks to Manscaped Performance Package 4.0, or as I like to call it, the perfect package for your package. Inside, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. The heart of the package, their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code CAMPEA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the promo code CAMPEA. Be thankful this holiday season for the best gift of all from Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. And thank you to our friends at MeUndies and Manscaped. All joking aside, guys, both of them are awesome. You should absolutely use their products. Go check out down in the description below. You'll find links and promo codes to all of our sponsors today. And thank you again to MeUndies and Manscaped, which, by the way, both of them are going to be continue to advertise with the John Campea Show come in 2023.
Yay!
That's worth doing.
Because no one loves them more than we do.
That's true. It's time for a shot, or Christmas shot, or only shot that we've ever done here on the thing. I don't even drink, and I'm going to...
We're proud of you, John.
All right.
Thanks for coming down to our level.
Here's the 2023.
To Jack Daniels.
Oh, God, it's so disgusting. Oh, I hate the taste of
but it's
alcohol
also
so much.
beautiful.
That's my breakfast, by the way.
Oh,
By the way, now
It's a good
it's
thing
time.
that we're going to be here forever today.
Now it's time for an aviation gin chaser.
here we go.
That's a
All
bold
right.
move.
Oh, it tastes so bad. Okay, with that down, guys, let's move on to our second main topic today. Chris, what is our second main topic today?
Our second topic comes from Warren L. By Appa's horns. Did you guys see that a new Avatar: The Last Airbender series is coming? Apparently, it's set after The Legend of Korra and will be about the next Avatar who will be from the Earth Kingdom. Avatar and Korra are two of the best animated series of all time, in my opinion. And the only thing I can think is bad about this story is that it's not supposed to come out until sometime in 2025. Sad face.
All right, Warren, thanks a lot for writing that in. And yeah, listen, whenever conversations come up about best animated show of all time, I believe it's Arcane. But a lot of people will bring up Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know, I was really late to Avatar. It was the early days of the pandemic when everything was first locked down. Then I'm like, all right, I'll check out this show. Everybody's always talked about it, so I'll watch it. You know what? I really liked it. I mean, I don't have it on my like top animated shows of all time, but I really quite liked it. Then The Legend of Korra came out. And while there are definitely some characters, including Korra herself, that I really did quite like, I wasn't all that big on the show. And I think one of the things that really took me out of the show was I felt like civilization in that world of Avatar advanced 600 years from the era of Aang to the era of Korra. And all of a sudden you have cities and machinery and all this kind of stuff. And for me, that setting just didn't work for me for the story of the Avatar. You know,
Once they get firepower, then they can have the Industrial Revolution.
well, there's that, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. So the idea here that they would do one about the next Avatar after Korra, which I think is supposed to be like another 100 years further, and they're actually saying it'll be equivalent to our modern day. So this comes to us from the folks over at CBR who wrote the following. They said, according to Avatar News, the next animated series in the Avatar universe focusing on an earthbender, because of course it goes in order. The Aang was the airbender, Korra was the waterbender. Now we go to earthbender.
I'm an
One before
earthbender
Aang-
today.
Oh, jeez. And the one before Aang was a firebender, of course. Focusing on Earthbender, who succeeded Aang and Korra as the Avatar, is currently in the works at Avatar Studios in Paramount. The new series is said to be targeting a 2025 launch. Moreover, Avatar News reports that an animated movie featuring this new Earth avatar in their era is, quote unquote, coming to theaters in the years after the show comes out. While the Avatar-centric news outlet has no specific information regarding the film's release window at this time, it does claim that it will not be an insanely long wait. All right, they also did go on to say that it will take place, like the world of Avatar is going to advance so much that even if it's only 100 years after that, it's going to be the equivalent of the modern day.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but sword and sandal and wizardry and stuff like that kind of shows work best in that kind of an environment and atmosphere. And I don't know if I would have liked Lord of the Rings as much if it was set in the 1970s. I just don't know. It just doesn't seem to
That
me.
Lord of the Rings show.
What's that? Yeah, that's the key for the next Lord of the Rings show.
The bush really threw him off, though. So.
Oh boy.
So
Galadriel, whole different deal.
I want to be excited about this, but I just can't be. I would be more interested about the avatars that preceded Aang.
Yes.
Like that's where I'd be more into. I don't know, Chris, you are more of the Avatar aficionado here.
Yes,
in the room.
I am.
What do you think about the news?
Well, would you believe that I have a steel book of Avatar in my collection?
Wait, what?
I do.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I thought you were just being funny.
No, Nickelodeon gave me one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was
You didn't buy
great.
it?
Do you also have a
No.
6-inch figure of Aang?
No, but I need one.
Okay.
I would get those in a heartbeat.
Wait, 6-inch.
6 scale.
6 scale.
6 scale.
6 scale.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I think I
know.
did say 6
know,
inch. I
honey.
meant 6
I got
scale.
you.
I know. I just want to be
No.
clear.
Yeah, we're here. It's okay. I
these
would
guys.
I would love to see stories about Avatar Roku, or in particular, if we're going to do an Earthbender, Avatar Kyoshi, because those novels are really, really amazing. That being said, for me, I thought the move into the kind of like steampunky industrial age was really cool, just because you see how when one superpower essentially holds technology from everyone else, how it limits so many people, and then you see how it works when everyone gets access to that. My only real issue with the move to that time period was all of a sudden lightning bending wasn't this really specific, amazing, hard thing to do. It was blue collar work, which is fine, but it was just a very big shift in the ideology and everything in the lore. But I think there's some real promise here. I think it'd be pretty cool if we had in our own current landscape the ability to do these things, because how does that change how we do things in present day, right? Does that change how we manufacture vehicles? Does that change how we do our politics? Does it change our technology as a whole? So I think it's got a lot of room for some really cool exploration, but I would like to see Kyoshi more than anything.
Rob, what do you think about this?
Well, these two shows are terrific examples of storytelling and animation. I mean, these are really, really terrific shows. We're getting a live action, a new series of Avatar: The Last Airbender. But like you said, John, I would be curious, moving more toward a modern age, you have to develop that modern age. And like you just said, what happens to technology to like the 20th century when you have airbenders, earthbenders like existing in the world? How does that change the whole history of that world? And as long as they delve into that, it could be cool. But I do, like you said, I like the period. Like, I don't believe you could tell the story of Lord of the Rings today. And I don't think that we could have an airbender story today. But convince me. I'm willing to watch. Show me what you can do.
You know what? One of the things that takes away some of the magic of it, we go back to the first Avatar: The Last Airbender, because the culture was set in the period that it was, right? What the benders could all do was magic, right?
Right.
Like if you had this mountain of whatever, but you wanted to build a school there, you couldn't. But earthbenders could come and maybe, right? Today, technology can do a lot of the things that the benders could do.
Right.
It takes away a little bit of that magic a bit for me. So I mean, I don't know, but we'll see. Because listen, despite the fact that I didn't love the Legend of Korra,
Yeah.
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm in the minority on that. So who knows? Maybe this could work great. Like Rob says, convince us, guys. What do you think about this? They're talking about a new Avatar series set in a context that's like today's modern world. Are you looking forward to it? What are your expectations? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right. With that down, guys, let's move on to main topic number 3, shall we? Chris, what is our third main topic today?
Our third topic comes from Robert Vine. Good morning, John and crew. I know John isn't the biggest fan of the Ahsoka character, but it's probably my most anticipated Star Wars show coming. I just saw that they confirmed that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is going to be playing Hera in the show. So with Ezra, Sabine, and now Hera all in the show, shouldn't they just call it Rebels the movie? Anyway, what do you think of this? Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, listen, I am one of those guys that I am like terminally annoyed by the Ahsoka character. That said,
You've never liked, I mean, we've been streaming for a long time. You've never liked Ahsoka.
that's not true. That's not true, actually. When they brought her into Rebels, at first I thought, here we are again. Dave Filoni feels this incessant need to force this one character that he created into everything. But as Rebels progressed with Ahsoka, and I'm like, you know what? They're doing some pretty cool things with Ahsoka here. And I actually started to appreciate the role that Ahsoka played in Rebels.
All right.
And then when Rosario Dawson took on the role, I'm like, okay, now I straight up like this version of the character. I like this version of the character.
No, she was cool.
Yeah, she was very, very much. So I've never been big on the character of Ahsoka, and that's fine, whatever. So we've got the Ahsoka series coming out, and I'm actually looking forward to it because of Rosario Dawson's interpretation of the way they portrayed her in Mandalorian.
Yeah,
so
spin it off from that.
And the fact, listen, I know I'm also in the minority of this. To me, Rebels far superior to Clone Wars. I think the Rebels series is great, which is funny because they're both made essentially by the same people. The same people made the shows, but there's something about Rebels that I thought did something that I didn't think Clone Wars did very well, which is really capture the spirit of Star Wars. I thought Rebels captured the spirit of Star Wars so well. It had its better seasons and its weaker seasons, sure.
But it's fun.
But it's so fun, and I loved the characters. And, you know, with that all being said, we do kind of see that this new series is kind of going to be Rebels the movie. Except, of course, Dave Filoni won't call it Rebels the movie. If Ahsoka's in it, you got to call it Ahsoka. But no, this is going to be centered around Rosario Dawson's character, so it's all fair. You're right. We already knew Sabine Wren was going to be in there. We suspect that it's going to be following up on where Rebels left off with Ezra disappearing with Grand Admiral Thrawn and a search there. That's how that ended. And as we came back across Ahsoka, she's trying to find out where Thrawn is. Whether it's partially for vengeance or because they're still looking for Ezra. One of the two, I'm not sure. Well, we also knew that Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who I adore, I love her, was going to be in it. And it looks like now we know who she's going to be, as reports are saying she's going to be Hera from Rebels. This comes to us from the folks over at CBR who wrote the following. According to the Bespin Bulletin, Winstead will be bringing fan favorite Star Wars Rebels character Hera Syndulla to live action in the upcoming Disney Plus series Ahsoka. The Star Wars character, a Twi'lek pilot turned rebel, was previously voiced by Vanessa Marshall in Rebels as well as Forces of Destiny and The Bad Batch. Lucasfilm had previously teased that Hera would appear in Ahsoka during its 2022 Star Wars Celebration event, but it was unknown at the time who would play her. Okay, so first thing's got to be pointed out. This was not coming from Star Wars, and it's not coming from one of the major trades. But Bespin Bulletin has been pretty good with their Star Wars stuff, so let's go with that. She's got to be playing somebody. There's actually even a Hera reference in Rebels. Or sorry, not in Rebels, of course, she's a star of Rebels, but in Rogue One, I mean. When if you listen, we're at the Rebel base, they call out General Syndulla.
Yes, they do.
That's her. You even see her ship in Rogue One as well. So she was there in the battle at Rogue One. We just don't actually see the character. So essentially, yeah, this is Rebels the movie, pretty much. And with them bringing her in as well. Then again, we don't know how big or small of a role she's going to play in this. But if it is true, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead is playing this character, I honestly, sometimes you hear casting and you go, I couldn't think of anybody better. And I wouldn't have thought about her playing this character, but now that you say it, I'm like, yep, sign me up. I think this sounds great. Anyway, Rob, you hear about this. Number one, what do you think the likelihood is that she is indeed playing Hera in this? And if so, what do you think about the match?
Well, it makes sense to me because I do think she just had a child with Ewan McGregor, like they're together. They're a couple, and why not? Like, I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I think she's a terrific performer. I love her presence on screen. I think this is a great choice, and keep it in the family. You know, I'd love to see their arguments. Well, I'm Obi-Wan, yeah, but I'm cooler. You know, I think that would be. It's a great choice. I think look, the fact that she's going to be who wouldn't want to be a Twi'lek, John? If you're going to be in a Star Wars
Seriously.
show, wouldn't you want to be more of an alien than just like, you're just a Jedi? I'm a Twilight. Come on, that's cooler. It's cool.
I don't know if the phrase "you're just a Jedi" has ever been uttered.
Well, I'm
I
telling
think
you.
anybody would love to play a Jedi.
But being an alien versus being humanoid.
Well, what about being a
completely human.
Twilight Jedi? That's
Yeah.
like the ultimate,
ultimate.
badass. I mean, and there are. Like, I mean, isn't Ala Sakura a Twilight Jedi? Is she?
I can't remember.
Well,
It's going to
let me
be
just-
a death-proof reunion.
Well, there you go.
that's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, okay.
And you know what? I even
cool,
really
dude.
liked her. There was a Netflix movie that she starred in, that Mary Elizabeth starred in last year, that I actually didn't think the movie was very good, but it totally sold me that Mary Elizabeth could absolutely be a working action hero star. That the movie.
Oh, yeah,
Kate.
yeah.
Kate. I didn't love the movie.
No.
But you put her versus John Wick, or she could lead an action series. She
Totally.
absolutely can.
She
Yeah.
was badass. in
Oh,
that.
she was so good in
The
that.
movie just wasn't that.
Yeah, it's just the story wasn't great. Anyway, Chris, you hear about this? What do you make of it?
Well, I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She is the fit version of me. I like her a lot. She's the version that doesn't like pasta so much. Okay. So I think she's a wonderful actress. I think she's really, really great at action and everything like that. Things like Kate, 13 Cloverfield Lane, I think was also
Yeah,
like a
she
really,
was
really
great in
fun
that.
one.
She was awesome.
She's
in
so
that.
good in that. But she also has tremendous acting chops. She's done a lot of indie films. She's done some really, really emotional work. And I think that that's something you need to for Hera, because she firsthand saw the atrocities of the Clone Wars. She lost so much. So I think you need someone who can also bring that gravitas through all the prosthetics, through all of the sci-fi pew-pew moments, right? Can really still deliver a very heartfelt performance about real loss and why you would sacrifice everything to a political cause.
You know, speaking of Mary Elizabeth being great in not so great movies, I thought she was fantastic in the mediocre at best Thing prequel.
Oh yeah.
She was terrific in that.
You know what? I have to say, I mean, John Carpenter's The Thing is
10
one of the great horror films of all time, but that Thing prequel is much better than most people would have you believe. And I'm a huge...
I didn't hate it. I know a lot of people
No.
crapped on it. I'm like, you know what? I don't think it's all that bad.
I mean-
and how beautiful is she? Look how
she's
beautiful
amazing.
she is.
What a
too.
cutie.
But she's beautiful in a way that she can be a chameleon. She can do all different kinds of things.
Yeah.
But I have to say, you're right about, you know what, that Thing movie, one day I'm going to have to do an impassioned defense for that, because I should have hated that film. And it's pretty damn good.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this news? According to the reports that have not been confirmed, but Mary Elizabeth might be playing Hera, which I love the idea. I mean, I'm going to be kind of disappointed now if it doesn't turn out to be
Right.
true. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 4, shall we? Chris, what is our 4th main topic today?
This one's from Eric the Red. Greetings and salutations, everyone. The Direct is reporting that Gal Gadot is going to be in Fast and Furious 10. This obviously makes no sense at all since she died in the series already. What? I need to watch this. But I guess with Wonder Woman getting canceled, she's got some free time on her hands. So I guess I have 2 questions. 1, do you believe this report? 2, do you think it's a good idea to bring her character back? Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in. All right, let's cover the ground here. Number 1, do I believe the report? It could be true. I think it's actually very feasible it could be true. Because, but they died in the series. Since when has logic ever applied to the Fast and the Furious franchise? Never. They've already brought back one dead character.
Yeah, and he still doesn't have the justice he deserves.
He got all the justice he earned. So, I mean, they already brought Han back, right?
That's what I'm talking
But I
about.
remember I was talking to somebody in, I put up a community post earlier today. One of the people in the community, one of our community members was right, but she died.
Like, she literally died.
How can you possibly bring back a character who died? And I wrote back to them with a smile. He says, you do understand this is the film franchise that took a car into outer space.
And not just a car, a Fiero.
It took a Fiero into outer space with duct tape around the windows. Like, this is the franchise that we're talking about,
Come on,
right?
you guys have never seen The Explorers?
Well, Ray Ora would tell you that sometimes duct tape in space can save lives.
And duct tape can always save lives. Duct tape can always save lives. But I mean, Could the Fast? Of course they can. I mean, look, we saw her fall off the plane. We didn't see her head smash onto concrete and split open and brains spill over the place. And even if they did, they'd still find a way to bring her back. So I have very little reason to believe that this is something they couldn't do. Very little reason to believe this is something they couldn't do. They absolutely could. So on the terms of do I believe it? I actually lean towards the yes. I actually lean towards the yes that I believe it. So, I mean, we'll just leave it at that. Now, is it a good idea to bring her back? Well, why not? I mean, if this was a franchise or a series that had any bit of believability to it, no, terrible idea. But it's Fast and the Furious. Again, the series that took a car into outer space and then docked with a space station. I mean, come on. It's Fast and the Furious. Why not? And listen, Gal right now is a very recognizable name. Mm-hmm. Totally a recognizable name. And it seems like Vin Diesel is doing everything he can to like pack as many of those into the movie as he can. And why not? So listen, if Gal is up to it and would say yes to it, I'll go so far as to say you'd be a damn fool not to put her in it. Now, don't make her play, I don't know, any big dramatic historical figure, but in something like Fast and the Furious, absolutely would be a good idea to bring her back. So I'm going to say I lean towards believing that, and as far as is it a good idea, I would say it would be foolish not to bring her back if she's open to it. I don't know, Rob, you hear about the story. What do you think?
John, not since Rick and Ilsa in Casablanca has there been a love story like Han and Giselle's in the Fast and the Furious franchise. I mean, Han came back. There's no reason why she couldn't have faked her death, that they were in cahoots the whole time, and their love has transcended Fast and Furious 7, 8, and surpassed 9. There's no reason why this beautiful woman and her eternal love, Han Solo, after the city in Korea. I would love to see these two come back. I would love to see them. I mean, can you imagine the kiss with the revving engines behind them?
And the 12 people that would care.
Dude, look at this. Come on. This is love, dude. This is what I want to see. This is inclusion. This is all about people around the world coming together. This is what the Fast and Furious franchise is all about. My God, do I love this. And by the way, look at
just
Han's
making
hair.
calls and shooting people.
Does Sun Kang have the greatest hair? I mean,
he does have really good hair.
Come on, dude.
He does.
He's got the greatest hair in cinema history. I'm all for it.
I love his hair.
I love
Chris,
his hair too.
As the resident expert on all things Fast and the Furious, what do you think about this? Do you believe this report?
Having only seen Hobbs and Shaw,
she doesn't even know who Han is.
I barely know. I'm just rooting for you, bud. I mean, the Fast and Furious, apparently, as I've learned today, the strongest things in the universe are duct tape and family. And when you got those two things, anything's possible.
That's a whole family.
You can bring these people back. Yeah, why not? Let them be back together and smooch. If he's still alive, is he not? Is he dead
He's
too?
alive.
Oh, they
He's
brought
alive?
him back. He was dead for a couple of films,
but now he's not dead. So yeah, bring him back.
He just walked into a room eating popcorn, and everybody was just, oh, okay, cool, you're back. And then that was it. Then they moved on.
What are these movies?
They're awesome.
Are they?
They are.
Maybe not the
Okay.
last
Except
one.
9.
Except for 9.
I've seen
I
number
mean, I
one.
thought with you, and
Yeah.
it was so.
I've seen number 1 and half of Tokyo Drift.
Really?
How can
That's
you
it.
see half? Look, Tokyo Drift is the most underrated film in all of cinema
It's
history.
the worst. It's the worst one of the
My
franchise.
It is
roommate-
not.
Bad.
Nikki Griffin is in it. The drift rules.
Yeah. My
It
ex-roommate who
rules.
thought he looked like the guy from Tokyo Drift tried to drift his BMW and then shattered his rims.
Okay.
and-
Oh.
Sorry, I said that Tokyo Drift was the worst of the franchise. It's not. 9 is the worst of the franchise.
Okay.
Yes.
Then Tokyo
But
Drift.
Then Tokyo Drift.
No, because Han is introduced in the drift. You cannot say that.
In 2023, can I do a watch through of this entire franchise?
come to
Oh
my
my
house.
God!
I'll show them
Can
to you in
you
4K.
please?
Okay, yeah.
to join you.
I want
this.
to. I want to do final our Fast and Furious reviews. I think that'd be really great.
I mean,
All right.
yeah,
Wait, we do have a
Kentucky Drift.
PlayStation.
You know what I mean?
Kentucky
We can do it right in this office.
All right, guys. With that, that question is for you. What do you think about this? Do you believe the report that Gal could be coming back to be in Fast 10? I don't see why not. And if so, do you think it's a good idea? Again, I think it probably would be a good idea. But however you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to the fifth and final main topic of 2022, shall we? Chris, what is our fifth main topic today?
This one comes from Tavares Rhodes. Hello, John Campea crew. I saw that Netflix will be stopping password sharing in early 2023, and it will be affecting 100 million users. If I'm right about 40% of Netflix subscribers, how do you feel about this?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that.
How does Ray feel about this?
Yeah, Ray's distraught.
I mean, on the Campea, you're on the Camp. What is it, the Campea
Campea Plus.
program?
The
What's it
Campea
called?
plan.
Campea Plus.
plan.
The Campea Plus, where you just get all John's passwords for everything.
Oops, never mind.
You know, here's the thing. We've been talking for a little while about this because reports came out and they did verify that they were looking at, in the near future, we talked about this a couple months ago, that they were looking at, in the near future, eliminating password sharing. And then they came up with this saying, look, we're going to come up with this cheaper version where you can add friends to your account for a nominal fee. And I think they said they were aiming for like the $3.99 mark, which is ridiculously reasonable, like a ridiculously reasonable rate. So that was what they've been talking about for a long time, but it's now official. Netflix has let it be known that in 2023, not starting January 1st, but in 2023, I don't know the exact date this is going to roll out yet, they're killing password sharing. It's done. No longer can your, three times removed ex-boyfriend in Toledo give you a call and say, hey, can I have your password? I want to watch this.
It's like Netflix hired Karen.
Yes. Yes. And then this is what we're getting. This comes to us from Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance wrote the following. They said this: according to a report from the Wall Street Journal, Netflix will soon put an end to the password sharing. Following a boom in subscribers during the pandemic, the company later began to experience losses, and I don't know what that means. And people seeing password sharing as an urgent issue that needs to be addressed. According to reports, it will begin asking for extra payments for shared accounts starting in 2023, affecting users in the US sometime early next year. Make no mistake, says the CEO of Netflix, I don't think consumers are going to love it right out of the gate, says Netflix CEO Ted Sandros told investors earlier this month. The move follows Netflix's introduction of a basic with ads tier for $6.99 per month and an update to its customer help pages this year, indicating that accounts should only be shared by those who live together. Analysts at Cowen Inc. estimate that the switch will generate an additional $721 million in revenue a year in the U.S. and Canada. And then that, of course, comes to us from Yahoo Finance. All right. We have talked about this before. But, before the question would be, how do you even enforce this? But that's been the problem. Now they have technology with IP recognition and all that kind of stuff. They have the technology now that they can enforce it and say, hey, you're user so-and-so, but you're in Russia. No. And deactivate you, whatever. Let's start with the general principle. Should Netflix stop password sharing? Absolutely they should. They 100% should. Like, I get it. Everybody wants everything for free. I should be allowed to have everything for no cost. Well, that's not how the world works. And, Netflix pours billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars every year into making this the best service they can. And sometimes we like the service, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we love it, sometimes we don't. But they pour billions and billions and billions into a year, and they create this service for the intention that if you want to participate in their service, you pay their fee. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science. And whenever you give out your password to say, I don't know, a theoretical brother-in-law named Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Theoretical.
No. You guys are just still signed into my TV. That's
that's right. I was signed in, then he just made sure it stayed signed in. That's right. That's right. But when that happens, it's like, okay, now you're just this service that we put billions in for the purpose of generating revenue and sale. You're now just giving away to people to take up our bandwidth costs. You're creating greater stress on our infrastructure, all this kind of stuff for free. And it's literally almost costing them over $1 billion a year. And I get it. They should just let you give it out to 50 people. No, no, they shouldn't. Grow up. They shouldn't. And so I'm totally good with this. And especially when they said they're going to introduce this thing, it's like, tell you what, we're going to create a program where you can add people to your account for much, much, much cheaper. I think that is a very generous compromise. Like that I will be able to, we'll use, again, Ray as an example. I will be able to add Ray to my account for $3.99 a month. That is more than a fair compromise. If you're not a moron, you recognize that as a fair compromise.
I'm going to be honest, John.
Let's hear.
I'm not going to feel good about watching Netflix if you did that.
Why?
I like it free. It feels better watching Netflix free.
You come to my house and eat $4 worth of food out of my fridge every day anyway.
I completely agree. No, their prices are actually great.
Especially this little additional price, right?
I always joke about, like, taking, whatever. But you know what? If I had to pay for it, I will. I mean, the prices aren't that bad. It's $6.99 a month with ads.
With ads. Now, granted,
Yeah,
you only get
720, you don't want that.
720p.
Oh, wow.
But as being added onto somebody else's account for $4 extra, that's actually, again, I think that's fair. That's reasonable. That's a really nice compromise, and it works. So now the big question will be, how effective will their enforcement technology be? Will they be able to actually enforce this? And sure, there are going to be people, yeah, listen, I get it. Whenever you're able to steal something for nothing, you feel good. And if people take away your ability to steal something for nothing, you get upset. Okay, I get that. But I think this is a fair compromise. Anyway, Chris, you hear about the story. Sounds like it's now official. 2023 is when this password sharing stuff is going to be put to an end. What do you think about it?
I think it's totally fair, and I got to jump on it already. If you watch the show, you know I kicked everyone off of my Netflix. I had 4 people on there and was like, bye, grifters, get out of here. Get your own damn
It was
account.
like Cersei at the end of that season where she blew up the set.
It was
That's right.
exactly like that. It was
She just
exactly
drank
like
her
that.
wine.
I drank my wine and blew up their lives. I was like, you don't get to watch Love is Blind's new season. Get out of here. I'm sorry, Rob. That was really mean of me to do to you. But I understand this. They're a business. They're a business. You got to pay for stuff, you guys. And that's the whole thing. I do understand people who have the issue of like the multiple televisions or whatever being like, well, how does this affect me? I need to use this on multiple screens. I'm not going to pay for that extra stuff. I do understand that issue. But to be able to give out your password to everyone, which I've tried to do with my parents. I tried to use my dad's YouTube TV because that shit's expensive. And you have to have a VPN or something like that, and you have to do shady shit to get that. And you do those shady things because you're doing a disservice to the people who are providing you a product. It's not really completely okay and kosher to do it that way. So I understand Netflix doing this because they got to make money. They really need to make money when you look at how they're doing.
Well, I mean, they lost billions last
Yeah.
year, but I mean, and they estimate they're losing close to $1 billion a year doing this, and they fear they can make almost $800 million per year. Mm-hmm. But that's not chump change, man. Anyway, Rob, you hear about this, what's your takeaway? What do you think?
John, when I was in the 8th grade, I brought home a report card that was less than a 3.0 grade point average. The silence that my mom gave me when I was looking at her as she looked at this report card was not as long as the silence when I told her I was not going to pay for her Netflix anymore. And I said, okay, Mom, I've got you. Look, I think that Netflix is providing a great service. They deserve to be paid for it. This is not something this has been a long time coming. They've been allowing us we've been grifters for long enough. Let's pay for the service they're providing us. I've been watching The Recruit with Noah Centrino. It's great. They made that show. It's
That's
a Netflix
fun.
show. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. For that kind of enjoyment, it is worth paying for it. And it's worth, according to my mom, also worth paying for. So I have no problem for paying for Netflix for whomever, and don't share your passwords. They need the money. If you like it's like NPR. I'm shamed. I drive here. I'm shamed into supporting NPR because they deserve it.
I like how 80% of this crew has basically admitted they've been doing this the whole time.
Well, I mean, Netflix
what do you want me to say, bro?
Netflix has allowed it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Up until now, Netflix has allowed
but
it.
the people on this crew, for the most part, have been the ones paying.
Yeah,
We were just allowing-
paying the bills.
Some of us.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple of people.
we are paying for the bill, John.
I've seen a couple of people in the live chat asking like the question. I mean, whenever you have something like this, like these 1% situation questions come up. Well, what happens if, but it's fair.
Yeah.
What happens if I'm traveling to Cincinnati and I'm in a hotel and I want to watch my Netflix in the hotel and I want to sign in? Well, I'm absolutely certain Netflix is going to build in something like that. Something along the lines of, hey, you're trying to sign in from an IP you do not normally. We're going to send a text message with a verification code to your phone. And if you had to do that every time somebody, I think it would work.
I just had a problem with what you just said. Out of all the places you picked Cincinnati to fly to.
Why wouldn't people want to go to Cincinnati and watch a Bengals game?
Well, that's the only good part of Cincinnati.
By the way, that whole Netflix thing in hotels, that's just a cover story for getting away with paying for internet porn. Come on.
I mean, well, that too.
I mean, nobody is paying for Netflix when you go to a hotel in a different city. No one. Ever.
Unless it's the Hotel Cecil.
Which I've been locked in the bathroom.
Wow.
At the Hotel
Oh my God.
before.
I was just trying to be funny. Now it's a thing.
That's the thing.
Wow.
A lot of people don't understand what the Hotel Cecil is, but that's all right. Go look it up. Then you'll get it.
Oh, no.
But no,
Don't look it up.
But no, I think they'll put in a mechanism where if you do travel somewhere, that you will get access. It'll be an inconvenient.
It'll be a
thing,
trust
but-
this device sort of
Well,
situation.
yeah, if you have it in your laptop, you know,
Yeah.
you save your passwords and all that. I mean, in my Robservatory, I do have the computer has my Netflix password that's not. I can't watch it unless I log in, and it's in the computer, so you can take it with you.
they'll have ways. They'll have ways to work with this. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? It looks like Netflix in 2023 for everybody who's been living off of somebody else's Netflix account. That's coming to an end. But listen,
Except for my mom.
it ain't gonna be that much more expensive. Just got to kick in like $4 a month or something like that when it comes to whatever you guys think. Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, we're going to take a break here, but we are now also going to open up our super chats. If you guys have a thought, theory, opinion, or question for the last regular show of the year, again, we're going to have videos next week, but this will be the last regular show. Go ahead and start firing in those now. We'll address them when we come back from break. Now, before we get to those, though, we want to take a second and thank the two other sponsors of today's show, our friends at DraftKings and Ryan Reynolds' Mint Mobile. Hey guys, we want to take a second and thank one of the sponsors of this video, DraftKings. This time of year, everyone's excited for the holiday spirit, but what about all the basketball? When it's time to throw down on the NBA action, it's gotta be with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can bet just $5 pregame moneyline on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Plus, everyone can combine multiple bets for a bigger payout with DraftKings same game parlays. Just download the DraftKings app, use the code Campea, place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win, and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's code Campea only at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gaming resources. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonuses issued as free bets. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you get another 3 months for free. Mint Mobile lets you order and activate from home with eSIM while saving tons on phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know I've been using Mint Mobile long before this holiday deal, and I have to say it is the perfect time to switch. I have absolutely loved using Mint Mobile, and like I've told you guys many times, I am now spending less than 1/3 of what I used to spend under one of the other major mobile carriers. And now with the whole buy 3 months, get 3 months free deal, gets even better. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily and effortlessly with eSIM. Or if you need a new device, for a limited time, get 6 months of free service when you buy a select device and plan. So guys, for a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months for free by going to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. And thank you to our friends at DraftKings and Mint Mobile for sponsoring this episode of the John Campea Show. All right, guys. With that all down now, let's head into taking your live comments and questions. Unfortunately, you guys filled it up really fast. The super chats are already closed. But we got some super chats to get to here before we end out the year. Chris, what have people sent in?
Just real quick, we had Wiley Todd. He gifted 15 memberships, so thank you so much.
Oh my,
for that.
Wiley Todd, coming through for everybody.
I apologize. We missed your name, but we know that you gifted 5 each, so there's like probably 20, 25 gifted memberships today.
Wow.
So, and we're gonna be doing
Merry Christmas.
Today
so
we're going to be
nice.
doing a member chat video for the members, so tune back in later. We'll be uploading that later.
John, I just want to say, I want to thank you.
Uh-oh.
No, for this year.
Okay.
I want to say 2022 and working with all of you great people, especially you, Chris, doing the Weekly Hero and everybody. I have had a really wonderful year that was capped off by the adoptive family. I was very moved by that experience, and I just want to thank you for including me with this channel and everything we do here, because it's meant a lot, and I really appreciate everything you've built here and working with all these great people. So thank you all.
Well, thank you, Rob.
And remember, if you have scripts,
That script.
Yes.
No. Rob wants to gift you
That sounded like the Rock's
the
Black
gift
Adam
of
speech.
discovery.
Yeah, he
What's
would
going on?
love to give you
I
really
didn't get paid
great,
as much.
thorough feedback.
Rob wants to give you total script coverage.
Absolutely,
Oh, man.
line by line.
I was being heartfelt. Thanks.
it was heartfelt. I was just doing a little,
Just saying.
comic
All right,
relief.
let's get to it here. What's up first?
So we've got some support from Remy Lestra, from Maurice Efrey.
Thank you guys
Thanks so
very
much. Guys. And from Murray Reich. Saw Puss in Boots Last Wish and thought it was very cute and funny. Had a lot of heart. Loved the ending. You should definitely see it.
Okay, so I really wanted to go and watch Puss in Boots on Wednesday night, which is the night that it opened. But that ended up being the night that we did the Adopt a Family gift delivery night. And Ann and I were still thinking about doing it afterwards, but after we were all done, I mean, you remember, we went out to eat and we're all sitting there exhausted. It's like, I can't go see it tonight. Then last night, Anna already had plans out in Los Angeles. We couldn't do it last night. So I don't know, maybe Ann and I might, no, we're going to Universal today.
See it there.
Yeah, we're going to the
Ooh.
Better Park. Screw you, Disneyland.
See it
we're
the
going to
theater
the
there.
Better. No, we're going to, are you going to Universal today too?
No, I'm just saying, but you can see the movie there.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
great
that's right.
AMC.
Yeah, maybe we'll go watch
They have
it
it
there.
all decked out for Puss in Boots right now. They have a Puss in Boots like
Oh,
wrap
do
and
they?
skin all over the theater.
You
Yeah,
know,
it looks
we
so
might just
cute.
do that. I might try to get to see that today because everybody, including, of course, Taylor, won't shut up about it. But everybody's saying it's
Take
great.
a picture in front of the wrap thing and send it to Taylor.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
do.
that'll make his day.
Plus, if you do see Puss in Boots, they'll cover your parking, right?
Yes.
Or at least most of it. I think you
Yeah.
only have to pay $5 for parking. But
There
you
you
know,
go.
Ann and I have annual memberships there,
oh,
so we don't have to
gotcha.
pay for parking anyway. But love Universal. All right, what's next?
From Amin, best Phase 4 villain or anti-hero? Taskmaster, Icarus Crow, the Mandarin, Green Goblin, Scarlet Witch, Gore, or Namor? Namor.
Namor. No, it's Shang-Chi's dad.
That's right.
Mandarin.
Wenwu.
Wenwu.
I mean, Tony Leung.
Tony Leung.
Not only that, John, they announced a linen suit hot toy.
Yeah, you showed me the picture.
And they're only making 350 of them.
Yeah.
My God.
Should buy all 350.
Well, yeah, and give them out as gifts on the show. Love to do that.
But
I
you
mean
know
that. I mean, listen, I love the Scarlet Witch storyline. I really, really do. But like, you can't just look at Scarlet Witch in an isolated, just in the Doctor Strange movie, right? It's really an overarching storyline that she's done. But as far as a one movie, the villain, the antagonist, whatever, it's Wenwu. I mean, I thought there was a case to be made about him being in the running for Best Supporting Actor for it. I honestly did. But
Well, what's interesting is if you look at his entire Chinese filmography, whether you're going back to Wong Kar-wai's In the Mood for Love, or whether you're going to John Woo's Hard Boiled, you could make a case that all of those movies are in the MCU. I choose to believe that Wenwu, Tony Leung is in all of those films, and they're all part.
All right. What's next?
From Al Renshaw, with them possibly going to the human world in Avatar 4 or 5, I could see Leo being the villain and facing off against the Na'vi.
I mean, sure, but you can get anybody to put in that role. I mean, but hopefully it would be really cool to see him doing something like that. I mean, obviously he's done great playing villains. Look at Django. I mean, he's a great villain. So, I mean, that could absolutely be one of the ways that they could approach it if they wanted to. All right, what's next?
From Kenny Codes, how will Netflix handle pirates?
I think they say they've developed the technology that can detect it. Now, look, with any technology that can create a safeguard, somebody will develop a technology that can get around the safeguard. But I mean, hopefully, for them, it'll be something that's very, very difficult to do. So, I mean, that's the least way they're going to try it. All right,
Cannons and swords, man.
Yeah, and swords.
From Sam Fisher, I always wanted an anthology Avatar show. Each episode would time hop and be a random avatar, but it would air in the order of the Avatar cycle.
That's a cool idea.
I don't know. I think I'd be more interested in an anthology show about a specific avatar. So you get maybe 3 generations removed from Aang, and there are different, instead of one long ongoing story, you have different things that avatar had to deal with along the way. Because if you try to do an anthology show, you have to create entirely different shows, because you're jumping eras as well and totally recasting. I don't know if it becomes feasible to do that from a practical point of view. I don't know, maybe. All right, what's next?
From Al Renshaw again. Does this mean that Ray is moving in with John so he doesn't have to pay for Campea Plus?
He just drives over.
Maybe. I mean, listen, Ann
Just
said,
won't watch no more.
Ann said,
He's gonna protest.
Ann said, when we were looking for houses and when we were going to move and stuff, and we bought our first house 1.5 years ago now. Ann said, we got to make sure we have one with a spare bedroom. And I'm like, why is that? She's just said, at some point, Ray. I'm like, oh, all right.
Safety measure.
But he'll get sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
I know, Ray.
The pool.
You've got a great couch, by the way.
I do have I have 2 great
I'll
couches.
sleep
pretty
in
great.
the pool without oxygen and then just
My brother-in-law gets his own bed. All right, what's next?
From Alan Ling, hey John, my birthday was this past Sunday. Happy birthday. I saw Avatar. It was just okay for me. I feel like Avatar for me is what Top Gun Maverick was for Chris. I liked it, but didn't love it. I missed something?
No, you didn't miss. Look, that's just because a lot of people love a certain movie does not mean it's going to hit you the same way. And if it doesn't hit you the same way, that does not mean that you're missing something or that you didn't get it or whatever. No, it just means that, look, films are a piece of art. Art hits us all in unique and different ways. For a lot of us, it hit us in a way that we really loved it. For others, it hit them in ways, And there's nothing wrong with that in any scenario. So no, look, I'm sure there's a lot of movies that you really appreciate that maybe I didn't like so much. And there's nothing wrong with that either. That's the beautiful thing about art and the beautiful thing about the fact that all of us have different experiences with movies. That's what makes talking about them so interesting.
But Chris is wrong about Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, yeah.
dare
that,
you.
That there's no doubt.
We have
How dare
issues,
you.
which you can see later today.
You can. Well, you
Well,
can
actually
see
not
it
later
on
today, Monday.
Monday.
Monday, yes.
Yeah.
We're
Monday.
recording it
Yeah.
today.
It's not live today.
That's the way live
We're
tape
recording it
works.
today,
Yeah.
but
We're
it'll go
recording
on
it
on
today.
Monday.
Yeah.
All right. What's
This
next?
is one of our issues. Arse graving. I've been stuck with this name for almost 2 weeks. People read the fine print before changing the name for a joke. Maybe I will pick a less controversial name next time, such as Pull Out Padre. Just kidding.
Wow.
Ugh.
oh boy.
No.
No.
All right.
No.
What's next?
From The Inedible Hulk. 3 years and no idea what Rob's Justice for Han means. Same, bud.
The people that make the Fast and the Furious movies don't know what Justice for Han means either, as evidenced by Fast and the Furious 9.
I started my
Wow.
own trend of hashtag Han got what he deserved. But hey, that's just
Yeah, and he was wrong. Let me just say, I gotta give a shout out to Jen Yamato and myself. We were the people that carried that torch for a long time. I do not feel we were vindicated. We were not. They changed it was a retcon. There's no justice there. It's part of the reason America is where it's at.
By the
now.
way, Guillaume LaBelle reminded me, no, my hashtag was hashtag Han had it coming. That was the hashtag. And yeah,
This is not part of the Christmas spirit. I was just
Man.
opining about John.
Aggressive at work today.
all right, what's next?
Nexus Fuel for Taylor. Do you think Stu or a descendant of Stu is the killer in Scream 6?
Ooh, now that Puss Watch has come to a climax, all of my attention is now focused on Scream 6. I am counting down the days till March 10th to see this movie. I don't think it's going to be Stu, and I don't know if it'll be a descendant, but I am so excited. This teaser that came out, they played it before Babylon last night. I clapped for it. I am so excited. This movie looks great. The fact that it's finally going to change locations to New York. I can't wait to see Ghostface on the subway. Come on, that's so good.
Ghostface on public transit? Wild. I'm not
on,
the
you
audience.
guys.
I'm not the
Feel-
audience.
feel-
I'm
feel
excited for you, though,
enthusiasm.
Taylor. I'm excited
Let
for
the
you.
joy flow.
I just can't get excited, despite the fact that I actually quite enjoy Ray, me, and Ann when we went to go see the latest one. I'm not a fan of the Scream franchise. Like I like the first one as much as everybody else did.
Yeah.
You
but,
like the new one.
but I actually ended up really quite enjoying the new one.
Yeah.
But I still can't. I mean, the basic problem, the underlying problem that I have with the Scream franchise, is that it's the basic premise of it is so dumb. Like
No.
if Ghostface was an actual character, like Jason or Freddy or Michael or Leslie Vernon or whatever,
Ooh, Leslie Vernon, nice pull
Huh?
there, dude. Nice
Then-
pull.
if it was an actual character that you're following, it's like so and so returns or whatever, that's fine. But so every single time there's a copycat killer, every single fucking time. And even though I actually admittedly did quite enjoy the new one, I really did. I just can't get excited for, oh, wait a minute, let me guess. Is there another copycat killer coming? Woo, Quel Supri.
It's
I
fun
don't know.
though, because every movie's a murder mystery.
I just can't get into
It's
it.
wonderful.
All right, what's next?
Oh my God.
From Tyler V602, just want to say thank you all for all you guys do. With everything
Aw.
else around me crumbling, listening to you guys while I'm in the gym and going to the movies are the only things keeping my spirits up. Well, Tyler, hang in there.
Hey, listen, Tyler, I think all of us have been there at some point. I mean, one of the reasons that I have a lifelong love of movies is because whether as a kid, when shitty things were happening,
Yeah.
I could turn on a TV and watch a movie and be whisked away somewhere. As an adult, when crappy stuff is happening, I know I can immerse myself into a movie and at least give my brain, my heart, and my soul a little bit of a reprieve and oasis to recharge my batteries and whatever, and then come back out and then deal with it later. I mean, that's part of the reason why I think, to me, I often talk about this. As a species, you go all the way back, we're storytellers. It's what we are. Whether it's drawing on the cave walls or relaying the histories by a fire, we are storytellers, and there's a power in the story. There's power in story, and it's not an insignificant thing, and it's there for me when I need it. I'm glad it's there for you when you need it, man.
Merry Christmas, Tyler.
Yeah, Merry
Yeah,
Christmas, man. All right, what's next?
From Purple Funk, have a happy, merry Kentucky Drift Christmas, y'all.
Hey,
What's a Kentucky Drift?
you missed.
Oh.
Okay,
You missed it when Jonathan.
you missed. Everyone's talking about Tokyo Drift, and I was like, hey, I'm having that. I was like, I'm
Oh,
having
you-
that
Kentucky Drift.
Oh,
New
nice.
Orleans, but
Well
no.
done. Well done.
By the
All
way,
right.
can I just point out that Sun Kang's Han was introduced in Tokyo Drift?
Ooh,
Just saying.
ooh, and can I point out that nobody cares? All right, let's
Oh, no. From Zach
Why you gotta
Taylor.
do that? It's Christmas. It's Christmas time, and
Sorry.
you should care more than you do.
I'm sorry. Okay, what's
From Zach Taylor. Oh, my goodness.
what's next?
Zach Taylor.
Oh my God.
With the short list of finalists that the Academy came out with the other day, and the Batman being in the running for everything except score, is that a sign that the Batman will make Best Picture?
No, it's not. Listen, look, the Hollywood Reporter's projections are by no means gospel. No means gospel. But I don't think they're wrong. I don't think the Batman is going to get a Best Picture nomination. I think it deserves one, but I don't think it's going to get it.
You don't think possibly it could though? I mean, it's such a.
I wanna
It's such a
believe,
beautifully made movie.
It is such a beauty. And you know what? This year particularly, it looks like populist movies are getting a little bit more traction this year, obviously with the success of Top Gun Maverick and all that kind of stuff. Is it possible? It's possible.
Yeah.
But don't do it, Rob. Don't make me hope. I just I'd love to
hope
see
is
Should I
something
give you
something.
hope? I'm going to go Morgan Freeman, Shawshank Redemption. Hope, well, or maybe not.
All right.
He doesn't like hope either.
What's next?
From Josh Becker, saw Babylon last night, and I loved it. The score is the best of the year, and Diego Calva is stunning in it. The ending is also genius to me.
You know, it's funny, Josh. Babylon is turning out to be one of these films that I'm finding a lot of people are not middle ground on it. Like a lot of people are thinking, "Whoa, this is a prestige film," and then a lot of people are, "This film is a miss." So it's just one of those, and sometimes excites me because it means I might be one of the people that I watch and goes, "Oh my God, this is fantastic." I don't know, but we'll see. But the only person in the room who's seen it so far is Taylor, and for you,
I
it
am
was a bit
very
of a
middle
miss.
ground on this, honestly.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah,
by the
but
way.
it's just like if they had cut like 40 minutes out of it, there's one scene. in
40?
particular-
I'm
yeah,
like,
but
they
it's
cut,
3
like, 5
hours and
minutes
9
down.
minutes. If they had just cut out 40 minutes of it, it would have been much better. The music, though, there's one song in particular called Voodoo Mama that you can twerk to. It's so good.
Ooh.
She-Hulk and I are going to have a twerk off to it later. But there's one scene in particular. I'm not going to spoil anything, but obviously there's, film in this. Like they are filming other movies. There's a scene where they have to do several takes to get a scene right. And I was busting up. I was like dying. I was going to need my inhaler. It was such a good scene. That's my favorite scene of the movie.
How's Jean Smart in the film?
Oh, I love her. She wasn't in it as much as I was hoping she would be, but if you're
It's
looking
not
for
like-
Gene Smart, Hacks on HBO Max.
It's not
You're
like
not
it's
as important as you think you
It's
are.
not like a
Yeah.
Hail Caesar vibe, is it?
I actually haven't seen that.
Oh, okay, never
I
mind
know.
then. We'll just
Because that I was just thinking that scene with Rafe Fiennes and Han Solo kid.
Alden.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Ehrenreich.
That scene is the only good scene in that movie. Like that scene killed me in that movie. Overall, the movie's not very good.
Twas.
that actually sold me for him as Han.
Yeah, listen, I looked at it, was like, hey, this guy can carry it. And I thought he was a very good Han Solo, by
I
the
did
way.
too.
He made it his own. I liked him
I
in
agree.
that. All right, what's next?
From CJ Rebirth, excuse me. Just want to say sorry to Rob, LOL, because now people are going to use the "she's gonna grow up" on you. That's my brave super chat. Love you guys.
Listen,
16, she'll grow up.
truth is truth, man. Truth is truth. And
Yeah, there we go.
that's all I'm going to say.
And is that all of them?
No,
Oh, no.
sorry, I didn't scroll down.
Oh, okay.
We're almost there.
Okay. From Ryan Cleary. Hi, John. Happy holidays to you and Anne and the crew. Have you seen All Quiet on the Western Front? What were your thoughts? Best movie of the year for me. Thanks and bring on the filthy.
Because Rob kept talking about it, I finally checked it out the other day. I loved it. I spoiler alert, it does not make it onto my top 10 films of the year.
Really?
list. Yeah, but it was very, very well made, very well done. I still got to see Babylon. I still haven't seen
Right,
that one,
which is now open. I'm going to go see it probably
yeah,
tonight.
but for you, it is one of your favorite films of the year.
Dude, it's astonishing. I thought it was astonishing. And it's there was another version of it made, but in terms of an anti-war film, and maybe it's because I couldn't help think about Ukraine when I was watching it. I mean, I thought it was an astonishing piece of work.
All right.
Too
And it's
different if you
just-
see the photos. I'm going to pull a Rob and say I've seen every version of All Quiet on the Western Front and read the book. So I'm looking forward to this.
Ooh.
All right, what's next?
Darth Ciano, do you think that the Flash movie could be the reboot that Gunn and Safran have planned for the DCU in a Flashpoint style work, maybe in reshoots?
Nope. Obviously, this was a movie that was planned. Well, first of all, written years ago, like literal years and years ago. And like for a reboot, you don't need something to happen into a movie that leads into a reboot. You just like, for instance, when they finished off Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man films, they didn't have to have another movie to have something that happens that leads us into the reboot. No, they just started making a new Spider-Man with Tom Holland. That's all you have to do. I feel like doing that internet meme with that guy who just goes, all you got to do is just make the new movie with the new guy. There it is. You don't need a movie that you don't have to go in and spend $50 million more to reshoot the final 20 minutes of the Flash movie to lead into what James Gunn wants to do. So no, I don't think that at all. I think, look, I just hope this is a great movie
Me too.
in and of itself, right? And if it is, I still don't know if it'll be worth all the drama we had to go through to get this movie, but hey, you got to at least get something out of it now.
Well, John, it's funny. I've never ever watched a movie thinking about the movie that comes later.
Yeah,
Ever.
never.
You watch a film, it's a story. And even the Marvel Cinematic Universe, when they tie it into something else as a post-credit scene, I mean, when you watch Winter Soldier, it's a great story. And if that's the only MCU movie I ever saw, I'd be like, that movie ruled.
It doesn't take away how good it was.
No.
And if you want to go back to say, I don't know, Thor: The Dark World, it being part of a connected cinematic universe didn't save it from being a bad movie.
No.
It's a
You're right.
movie's either good on its own merits or it's bad on its own merits. Like, again, the whole thing, I still hear people saying online, it's like, well, I don't know why I should care about these remaining 4 DCU films if it's not going to go anywhere. Oh, guess what? Never go watch Goodfellas then. Because spoiler alert, there's no sequel. Like, just
Oh, I'm not watching it.
that's it. I'm done. It's a movie's either a good movie or it's not a good movie. Shit doesn't matter about whether there's 5 more that come after it or not.
By the way, since you brought that up, did you see the article where Steven Spielberg talks about Goodfellas as Martin Scorsese's masterpiece and he watches it all the time?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think Goodfellas.
I
is
mean,
a
it's
masterpiece.
so good. But what a great
I mean, even Swingers emulated it with that shot going in the Derby.
Oh, yes.
I mean, for me, Godfather is still the greatest mobster movie of all time.
I'm
But I
with
mean,
you.
Goodfellas is so. By the way, there's a number of great ones. Not only Godfather 1 and 2 and 3. By the way, I don't care what anybody else says.
I'm with you.
Goodfellas, Casino. There's one other one off the top of my head.
Donnie Brasco.
Donnie Brasco was
is
pretty
a
damn good. Yep.
Yeah, good mob movie.
Fun fact: my grandfather knew Donnie Brasco
Really?
in a good way.
Oh.
Should we be careful now?
All right. What's next?
From James Germain. Hello, all. What movie reboot you guys would want to be made? Popeye or Pippi Longstocking? We all know what Rob's pick is. Hashtag redheads.
Listen, Pippi Longstocking is actually a really, when you see the lore of it, it's a charming, delightful story. Popeye, I don't know. You can try to David Fincher it maybe, but maybe or Quentin Tarantino it. But really, at its heart, Pippi Longstocking can make a really good, charming, like delightful little movie. So I go Pippi Longstocking.
You know what?
No argument from me.
She'll grow into it.
Oh, I didn't
I
say
never
that.
really understood, John, when you would say things like, "Oh, well, I was rooting for like Pinocchio to go in the fire," or "I wish the kids from that '90s show would get beat up," or whatever. Now, actually, this is a flashback. Every time I watched the Pippi Longstocking, I wanted the bad guys to win.
Whoa.
How dare you?
Oh, man.
All right. What's next?
From Johnny Weiner. How's the weather there? Here in Chicago, it's -2. My pipes are all frozen up, so no water. Also, furnace not working apparently. So trying to get it fixed while staying warm with the oven. Winter can suck.
Awful.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I lived for about 7 years in a city called Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. If you're Super Dave Osborne fans, you know that's where his genuine sealskin bindings come from. And we, every year, would get about 6 weeks of -40. That's -40. And so I feel you. I feel you. And it's... Ooh, and I actually heard, like with this bomb cyclone coming down, did you see what happened in Denver?
Oh, yeah.
In one day, 24 hours, the temperature dropped 67 degrees Fahrenheit, not real degrees in Celsius, but Fahrenheit. 67 degrees in one day.
By the way, John, since you brought it up, I'd like to point out that Gersha Phillips, the costume designer for The Woman King, also grew up in Saskatoon,
Did
Canada.
she?
She did, and you can watch that interview on this channel right now on Designing Hollywood.
Whoa.
I didn't know she
did.
grew up in Saskatoon.
And you know what she started designing costumes for?
Snowmen?
Dance crews.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yes, she did.
Maybe I know her.
Her brother's dance crew, and I'm thinking you must have dressed John Campea.
Maybe I know her.
That's a true story.
All right, what's next?
From Ron H., who sends a $15 super chat. Watching John and Rob cart and answer on open mic was such a great Christmas gift. The out of nowhere damn it's or ohs were hilarious. Have a happy and safe holiday season, crew and community. Pickle my foot in 2023.
Working on it. Rob's reading the script, and if he approves it, then maybe I can get that thing
Just
made.
keep
And
sending
look,
your
I mean,
submissions, though.
I gotta say, our fearless leader is a pretty great Mario Kartsman. I mean, I never played that before. That version, you kicked my ass.
Here's the thing, dead honesty. I'm pretty good at the first 4 levels, the first 4 treks. After that, I'm hopeless.
Well, I needed
hopeless
to
on
learn the
that
tracks, but you did. I mean, I think, being middle of the road was fun, but I have to say it was a delight playing with you, sir.
Oh, well, listen, we've been
delight.
working, it's probably like 2 weeks now we've been trying to get Studio B changed over.
Studio
And-
B, yeah. I mean, I've talked to you about doing some gaming for a while. It takes a while in production to transition and do all this
Yeah,
stuff.
get all the stuff that we needed, and we got the Nintendo in and the PlayStation and brought in the sound system for it,
damn
and the
fun,
TV,
sir.
the couch,
and just
the
pull the
tables,
trigger
everything
onto
around it.
like
And I was dedicated. I told Jonathan, I said, before we break this week, I want to do at least one stream from in there.
and who delivers?
And you delivered.
Deliverer.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves is a great director.
And a great head of operations here at the John Campea channel. No, seriously, and it was so much fun. If you guys haven't had a chance, watch yesterday's open mic because it was great. I mean, it's funny though.
Great.
One of the things
Rub
that
it
was
in.
funny
Rub it in.
is that
Rub it in.
we're sitting there, and every once in a while, Ray would say some really cool, funny things, right? But at some point, I finally had to say, Ray, you understand that nobody can hear you.
You're
right?
not Mike, dude.
Because he's like
you
sitting in the back corner with no mic.
Ray wandered into set, and people were like, "Can you give Ray a mic?" It's like he wandered into
He
set.
literally just, we started, and he just walked in, sat
I was
down,
just
which
looking
is
for
great.
somewhere to sleep.
I
He
can't
was
just
looking
like
for a
mic him.
place to
By the
sleep.
way, you gave me no aid, no help.
Dude, you got first place a couple of times. I saw though.
No, I
No,
didn't.
no, he
Oh,
didn't.
okay, never
Like
mind.
in
I
one
teach you the
race, but
drift.
not in the overall
Oh.
thing. I got first place like once,
All right, well, you're new.
but I didn't
Did you?
win
No, you didn't.
one time. I
Yeah,
think.
No,
once.
I
Yeah.
won every single race.
But he got it first. I
Early
thought.
on, I got
except one race
It wa-
where I think it was Bowser who finished in front of me, didn't it?
He got first. It was a new track that neither of you knew.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, maybe you're the one. Maybe it wasn't Bowser that finished ahead of me. Maybe
Yeah, I think
you.
it was one, but I didn't get the. You have to win like multiple times to get the star.
to get the first place.
Yeah,
at
I
the
didn't
end,
get that.
And then I asked him about Barry Lyndon, and we froze.
And then we froze.
Yeah, by the way, you should watch Barry Lyndon, one of the great unsung Kubrick films, 1974, Ryan O'Neal, Marissa Berenson.
It was a
Beautiful.
lot of fun. Now we got to find some more games that we can play on.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And by the
Grand
way,
Theft Auto, dude.
by the way,
Come on.
unlike a lot of game streamers on Twitch, where you watch the game streamers because they're really good at that game, that ain't gonna be us.
No.
about answering your-
Understand that. This is
No.
part of
Yeah.
us just hanging out, playing a game,
Exactly.
being fun. So
Well, as our viewer said, the ahs and the ohs. If that's what you
Damn it,
want from us,
shit.
you'll get that from me.
I'll
I'll
lots
tell you
of
what.
that.
For real.
I'll tell you guys what. It hasn't dropped yet, but when GoldenEye drops,
we're gonna be playing something.
bro.
we might set up a
Yes.
tournament.
Yeah,
Bro,
I'll
that-
lose that tournament. But
By
I'll-
the way,
I'll-
I've seen more people lose their shit playing GoldenEye than any other video game. I've seen fights break out.
you know what? By totally side note, but to that, you know what game I've seen end more friendships than any other game? Settlers of Catan. Have you ever
that's
played?
that's a board
It's
game.
a board game. If you've ever played Settlers of Catan with people, I literally, Ann and I have two. We've had Spencer on this on our show before for IATSE, and his wife Laura is a very big photographer in the movie and TV world. She's a set photographer for a lot of the bigger shows and everything. But the first time Ann and I ever played Settlers of Catan, Laura and Spencer invited us over to go play at their place, and they warned us like this can end relationships. So last year they were coming over to our place, and we mentioned, hey, should we pull out the Settlers of Catan? And they let us know Laura and I have decided we can't play that game together anymore. Like that's
Wow.
how
Wow.
It ruins
serious.
lives.
Wow.
It ruined
It truly
lives.
does.
Oh,
That's why
man.
anytime someone's like, "Do you want to do this?" I'm like, "Absolutely not."
Oh, you know what we got to play? We got to play Mario Party.
Yeah.
I love Mario
That
Party.
will also end friendships. But I mean, yes, we got to
do
play.
so well.
But not like a 10.
The
Yeah.
game getting the requested the most is Just Dance. They want to see you guys play Just
Yeah, well,
Dance.
we
that's
can't
not
just
gonna
do
happen.
Just Dance.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Just
I'll
Dance.
do it.
To do it. There's
I'll do Just
I'll
Dance.
do Just Dance.
Yeah, Rob and
nowhere to
I'll
do
do
it.
it.
Mr. Dance Crew over here. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going here. What's next?
From JCSC, sending in a $25
Oh my
super
God!
chat.
Thank you, JCSC.
2022 was a tough one for me. Thankfully, it's ending on a nicer note, mostly by utilizing the support and guidance that is available and this little thing called the John Campea Show that provides some respite every day. Thanks and happy holidays.
Jai, thank you so
Aw.
much, and thank you for being a member of our community. And yeah, look, 2022 was a challenging year. I mean, overall, it was probably a little bit less challenging than 21 and 20, where I mean, as we're getting, but a lot of people are still feeling the effects of the pandemic, particularly in the movie world too. So it was a challenging year for a lot of people, but I mean, it's the first time in a long time I felt this hopeful about a new year that's coming in. I hope 2023 is going to be a great year for all of us. Certainly, hopefully, a better year for all of us. So thank you for being a part of our community through 2022, and looking forward to going into 2023, my friend. Cheers to you.
Yay.
All right, what's next?
From BJ, the UK government this week declared that password sharing is illegal and equivalent to copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the streaming pre-rolls. You wouldn't share this password to a car.
Yeah, actually, I remember I read that this morning that the UK has made it not just like unethical, it's illegal. Like,
Well,
yeah,
it is stealing.
you sold crack to a 7-year-old, but you shared your password for Netflix. So, I mean, yeah,
As
made
long
it
as I
straight
can
up illegal.
keep selling crack.
But I mean, they're not wrong. It is technically copyright infringement.
Yeah.
I mean, technically speaking, it's not wrong. It's just weird to think of it that way, though. All right, what's next?
From Sam Fisher, only thing I want from the new Avatar show is to see this Avatar reconnect with the past lives Korra lost, and that Korra and Asami lived happily ever after.
That's a
Aw,
nice
I like
sentiment.
that.
I'm not sure what I can think of that'll get me excited for this new show. I mean, that's not to say that I won't like the new show. I'm just saying, knowing that it's set in a more modern era, I'm not sure what you could tell me that would get me excited for it in advance. So maybe hopefully I'll watch the show and I'll fall in love with it. But it's hard for me to think of something that would get me excited. Even that doesn't really interest me all that much. All right, what's next?
From Nolan Wins 1027. Chris, you're missing out on the 10 degree weather in Texas. Happy holidays, y'all. Oh, missing out? No, I'm happy here in our 60-degree weather. It's glorious. My parents keep telling me how terrible it is.
You
I
know
love
what?
it.
This is going to sound... People look at me funny when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
Winter is my favorite season of the year.
Oh, yeah.
I love the 10, 5, minus 10, minus 15 degree weather.
too.
I think
love
that's
that
all
weather.
great, but I also don't want to shovel a driveway in that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's
I don't
the
want
one,
the actual repercussions of it.
that's the one. I mean, look, I always tell Ann, you'll never know the feeling of the first thing you got to do in the morning is take the ice scraper, go outside and scrape the ice off your
Yep.
windshield. Like you'll never know the joy
No.
of that. Or having to shovel your sidewalk or your driveway. Yeah, that stuff always.
Yeah.
sucks. But I love winter. And what I miss most about living in Canada is having real winters. I miss it a lot. It's my favorite time of year. All right, what's next?
Reminds me of Office Space. We've noticed you've been missing a lot of work lately. I wouldn't say I've been missing
Missing.
work, Bob.
I've been missing it, Bob. All right, what's next?
From the man with the master plan, happy holidays to the Campea team.
Thank you so much, man, and happy holidays to everybody watching the show today.
And then
All right.
it looks like we're just ending with some support here from Irene Jobson sending a $20 super chat.
Just to
Irene.
be
Thank you, Irene.
supportive. Thank
That's
you,
sweet.
Irene, so much.
Oh, I'm really happy that's $20 your kids aren't getting. I'm just teasing you, Irene. From Mark24 Gaming, some support, and from SealBear23 support as well. Thanks so much, y'all.
Thanks so much, guys. And yeah, that'll do it for the year that was the John
Wow.
Campea show of 2022. Again, don't forget, guys, we are going to be having some videos next week. It's just not going to be the regular John Campea show, but we are looking forward to you joining us again next week. Guys, may you have a wonderful holiday season. It's of course, it is Christmas Eve right now. Tomorrow is my two favorite days of the year, Christmas Eve and Christmas. I hope you guys have a wonderful couple of days. And again, thank you from me for giving us the year that we've had. This has been the biggest year of changes for the John Campea show that we've ever had, the biggest year of growth for the John Campea show that we've ever had. So thank you guys so much for coming along on the journey with us and helping us get to where we are. So big thank you to everybody in the room, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett, the ever festive Chris Carr, the password hacking Ray Ora with the best Christmas sweater. But you didn't show people how your Christmas sweater lights up.
Yeah, stand up,
no.
buddy.
It's got lights and everything.
Look,
You're able to
we
get
might
it going?
get copyright because it'll sing.
Oh, don't worry about it. We won't do it for long. Look, it's got this
Wow.
lights going off and everything.
Also, the most important.
Yeah.
Right
Suck
there.
my bills. Yes.
That's
I believe it's Suck My Bills. Sitting beside him, of course, running the show, producer Jonathan Boyko, and of course, Taylor Gonzalez beside him. And from myself, my name's John Campea. Thanks so much for being here, guys. And until next time, my friends, bye-bye.
That's beautiful. Damn.